Well, I believe in good vibrations is what creates a beautiful nation. All you need is the will to do right, do right, do right.
Go, Jay. Go, Jay. Or don't. You know, whatever.
Say it again, Garrick. Maybe I didn't hear you. And we're live. Welcome to a brand new episode of Anecdotal Arguments. I am your host, Jay Fry. Can we not hear me?
No, we can hear you, unfortunately.
Can we not hear me?
No, we can hear you.
You're here. Start talking.
And he's gone.
Son of a bitch.
Should I put up the duct tape splash screen? Jesus Christ.
Look at me.
I mean, it wouldn't hurt.
Can we hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Can we hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Welcome to a brand new episode of Anecdotal Arguments. We are having technical difficulty. I am your host, Jay Fry. And with me is Josh. How's it going, Josh? How's it going, Garrick? Hey, Sean. How's it going?
That was pretty
You're doing
fast.
well, thank you.
But, yeah, going well.
Had to make up for the 2 minutes of dead air time.
Still waiting on that.
Jeez, oh Pete. Way to get me. Still waiting on what?
You to make up those 2 minutes of dead air time. Can you get it? Move this along, please.
Yeah. All right. So we got a lot to talk about tonight. We've got missing kids found kids missing, pedophiles discovered, defense of a Ute, and COVID cases. Let's get started. Who wants to talk about what?
We talk about the children.
Talk about the children. We'll get that out of the way first. Over the course of the last 3 weeks, we found about 175 kids in various locations, mostly in Michigan and in Georgia. There's a weird situation revolving around the Georgia children that were missing. They posted, for some reason, they decided to claim that all 39 children were found in a trailer in the state of Georgia. And Facebook has come out to say that is categorically false. Of those 39 missing children, 25 of them were found in a trailer, and sporadically throughout the entire state, 14 others were discovered in the course of the 2-week investigation. So I find that a little weird that they would call it a false when really they just need to say to remove the trailer from the equation, and then you have the 39 missing children that were discovered in Georgia. I think it just goes to the part where they just don't want to talk about these kids. It's local events. Like I found one from the New York Post, but predominantly these stories are local, like Fox, CBS, MSN, but the local channel is also in the title. So these aren't getting national attention by any means. So they need to be addressed in places like this, the alternative media, if you can even call us that, where this is brought to light for at least a few people who can mention it to other people who will then disseminate the information to the people in their daily lives so they can find it for themselves. Now the 123 from Michigan, there's just not a lot of information given. They were found in Ware County. They were found by in efforts of all parts of the Wayne County Police. That's the Wayne County Sheriffs, Michigan State Police, the U.S. Marshals, the local districts of each city. That's Detroit, Dearborn Heights, Westland, Garden City, not Livonia, but Wayne for the county's title, Wayne County. Were all different police facilities were used to find these 123 missing children, and that is this week, because 2 weeks ago, what's the name of that sheriff who dropped his shield and hugged it out with the protesters of BLM back like a month ago?
No,
the white guy in the sweater.
Yeah, no idea.
Yeah, well, he his county is the one that found the kids in the 2 weeks ago when they started doing their bust, and they found 22 pedophiles plus one of the sergeants was involved. Absolutely despicable and disgusting. But these aren't getting anywhere near the attention they want or need, because all of this funding was from Trump. Trump enacted the U.S. Marshals and gave them like $500 million to discover these kids, and it's part of his policy for what's the name of the act? The Operation. Let's pull it up here. Sex trafficking, U.S. Marshals. Operation Not Forgotten. So, sorry, it was 26 children were found at the trailer and 13 in the 2 week period. Various locations across the state, not inside the trailer. Youngest child reported was 3. He had been gone for several weeks.
Good Lord.
Authorities arrested 9 people, many of whom had multiple arrest warrants. Yeah. Multiple arrest warrants for charges including sex trafficking, parental kidnapping, registered sex offenders, drugs, and weapons charges. This local News 2, it's what it's called, WKRN.com, literally stated at the bottom, the story received nationwide coverage from news outlets including CNN, Fox News, CBS, NBC, and ABC. I don't watch those programs anymore, so I wouldn't know. But I Googled 39 missing kids and only found 3 stories on it, and they were all local. So maybe not so much. But looking at this this channel, this is a local Georgia channel, so I don't know what they're on about. The story is even shorter when it comes to the 123 missing kids. This is from the New York Post. Over 100 children were found safe during a one-day sweep of multiple Michigan law enforcement agencies, the U.S. Marshals said Wednesday. MI Safe Kid was the operation. Michigan Safe Kid discovered 123 missing children. Wayne County sweep identified and covered operation. 301 case files for missing children were opened before the sweep. The message to the missing children and their families wish to convey that never stop looking for you. It's absolutely disturbing.
It's interesting that in 2 short weeks
I don't have room for more shit than to...
Yeah, just so many kids in 2 short weeks makes me wonder what has prohibited the cops from doing more prior to this. Because these are ridiculously successful in short periods of time. Why hasn't this been standard operating procedure for the last 20 years?
Yeah. Like, we're no longer in a time of milk cartons. We have the internet. There should be child sites dedicated to this. There should be an ad dedicated to this on Facebook. You should know the names of these kids instead of receiving them. And does anybody even look at the flyers anymore that they get from the mail with the missing kids? I've been throwing those things away for years.
Yeah, I don't.
But like, I'm sorry, I don't need 4 floor advertising ads in my spam. But if we could put these up, every time I see one on Facebook or Twitter, I forward it to everybody. Now on Facebook, I've got like 300 friends. On Twitter, I'm at like 60 or some shit. But that will not keep me from doing it. I want these kids safe, and whatever I can do to make that happen, I would like a little more of that. So if I could see one less Facebook ad showing whatever I recently Googled is now in my advertisements, and replace that with a missing child, you would certainly understand how many kids are missing. Like, understand, missing kids account for 0.0001% of a population, so it's absolutely a minimal crime. But 0.0001 of 330 million is a couple thousand kids. So every time you log on to Facebook and you see a missing kid and it's a different face, you log on 15, 20 times a day just to check something, and you see it's a different kid every time, forever, it's a pretty disturbing thing.
Yeah.
But they don't want to show you that.
Well, no, and I think that part of the reason, two parts of the reasons that they don't report this stuff is, A, finding the missing kids is good news, and good news doesn't sell as not much as, blood, murder, and mayhem, or narrative. And then the second part is it's also simultaneously a downer to know that there's this many kids being, gone missing, and we have this sick underbelly in this country that's numb to it or supports it.
Yeah, well, I would hopefully they're numb to it. It's not the other way, actually supporting it with does everybody remember Stephanie, the formerly 8-year-old little girl who decided that because her new family that adopted her wanted the 7-year-old wanted a younger sister, she went to 6, even though it's like a 57-year-old man. You guys remember Stephanie? I know
Sure.
You do, Josh. You don't remember Stephanie?
It vaguely rings a bell, but degeneracy like that I don't support, so it's not like I obsessed over it or committed it to memory.
Oh, I obsessed over it. All right. Fucking absolutely disturbing. Well, as far as I know, he hasn't fucked anybody, but stuff like this, like that's just a way to make it more normalized. Like 30 years ago, there was gay bashing, but today, even the most hardcore gay hater probably still has a family member that they love who turned out to be gay. So over the course of normalization, it's less than 3% of the population, but now they got their own month, like a week, every other week, and all sorts of bullshit. I will not allow it to transpire that pedophiles are added to that line. I don't care if you're my favorite uncle. I will beat you to death with a lead shoe, but before I'm allowing the normalization of pedophilia. I will King Kyle up in my own house before I let that shit happen. Of course, I wouldn't have to defend myself because I'd be straight up murdering people. But we've got what else do we have? We had Tom Hanks recently became a member of Greek society with their non-extradition. That's classy. The walls are falling down, and literally these assholes going around burning shit down are covering up a lot of rather newsworthy events so they can own Trump. It's literally one of the more disturbing things that have happened in 2020. And we've all been locked in our house for the last 6 months. Any opinions, views, takes, hot takes?
We're in agreement. At least I am.
As am I.
Garrick,
What was the question?
were you nodding?
The question was, what were we just talking about?
That is.
He is nodding. He's nodding off.
Yeah, I love that movie, Slither. It's like, guy gives an order over the radio, and he's like, "Sherry, are you nodding?" He's like, "Yeah, boss." I'm like, God damn it.
Okay, now I'm here. What's up?
Since you were bored with my story, what's your story?
Don't have one.
Okay. Then we'll move on to the CDC numbers that were lightly altered this week. You got anything for me, Josh?
Not really, other than, like 94% of the deaths that, I believe it was 94, it might be a little bit less.
No, it was 6%. Yeah, it's 94.
Yeah, 94% of the deaths that were involved with the COOF basically had all underlying health conditions. So none of them,
two or more underlying health conditions that will kill your ass or more.
Yeah.
Like, for those of you with one underlying health condition, safe. Two or more, like, you're gonna die anyway. Like heart attack. Like, yeah, that's just one, but I guess yeah.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you got the COOF while having pneumonia.
Yeah.
And that's not to say like we always knew there was shit like this going on. We had the story a couple months back of the guy who his family was fighting to get the cause of death from COVID being turned back to his fucking 5.5 alcohol or 0.55 alcohol level, which, by the way, your blood is 1. So having 0.55 of your blood, that's 55% of your blood is alcohol. Absolutely, that's astounding. I've had blood alcohol poisoning. Not to brag, because it's a stupid fucking thing to happen to you. But yeah, I'm a big dude, and I had a 3.1 or I had a 0.31, and ended up in the hospital with a cute little vomit bag and everything. But to have 0.55, you can't even drink that. Like, you can't chug 0.55. That's a hell of a buildup you had to have in your system before you're able to do something like that. I know that because chugging is how I ended up with the 0.3. Hey, doggy. You want to shut up, buddy? Good boy.
Girl, get out. Out. No, come on. Come on.
That's absolutely insane. We had car accidents for COVID.
Motorcycle accidents.
Like there was numbers, or like the way it was framed was so weird that it had suicides included in that number. So the suicides are in still the 0.6 or the 6% number, not the 94%, because it's only one point against you, and you need to have 2. So unless you're a fatty who committed suicide, it's still less than the 2 comorbidities.
The one that stands out to me that's a suicide is that there was a guy who was depressed because he lost his job because of the shutdown.
Mm-hmm.
Tried to kill himself and failed. Went to the hospital because he put a bullet in himself and contracted COVID in the hospital. Then succumbed to his wounds. and then was ruled a COVID death.
Oh my god! like shot his cheek off, like a la Ed Norton in Fight Club, which you do not talk about, and like died of infection like 5 days later, or like 2 weeks later. Really, Jesus Christ, that is insane. I can't believe hearing something like that is, like, these are doctors.
Yep.
They went to school for an additional 7 years.
Yeah, but there was, let's not fake the funk. The system that the doctors are only a part of incentivized COVID treatments, COVID diagnosis, and COVID deaths monetarily. So, of course, all those administrators are grabbing those government bucks for COVID diagnosis and COVID deaths.
Oh,
So
yeah, absolutely.
It's a financial transaction more than it's just outright fraud. I mean, it is outright fraud, but anything to get them bucks.
And I could understand that if hospital administrators were the one who did morbidity numbers, but they're not. That's the responsibility of the actual doctor.
Well, the coroner.
No, doctors label cause of death or time of death, and they're the ones who stand up in front of the morbidity and mortality panels. You don't really use a coroner inside a hospital, mostly outside the hospital. That's why they're usually not connected to hospitals.
All right, then.
Well, unless you're, where I live. then the coroner is literally the local doctor. But the medical examiner is a completely different facility from most hospitals in cities, anyway. Unless you're watching Crossing Jordan or something like that. What else do we have to talk about besides this absurdity?
Elephant in the room.
Go for
it. Kyle Rittenhouse and what was the other shooting? Patriot Prayer.
Oh, Jay something. Wasn't Jay Fry? That guy's still alive.
Danielson.
Jay Danielson?
Yep. Aaron. His real name's Aaron, but he went by Jay Danielson.
Okay, that's weird. Was literally do we have any cleared up audio of that guy as a Trumper? Get him
cleared up? No,
we got a Trumper over here.
And the video is from a good 50 yards away, too. So it's kind of hard to see exactly what happened.
Yeah, we are escalating into a time of war.
Well, and a couple of things on that. The shooter, who I don't know his name, don't really care to know his name because he's a piece of shit, but has claimed himself to be 100% Antifa and is ready for quote-unquote war. They put him in jail, booked him, processed him, and released him in Portland.
Well, I saw a video from Neo showing the guy at the back of one of the trucks of a group of Trump supporters, and he pulled his gun, but he didn't fire on him.
That's because there was too many of them. They only really attack, when they have superiority of numbers or a knowledge that they'll get away with it.
Mm-hmm. So did we find out who he was? And was he the guy I was saying he was, or I had said who he was?
It's the guy that 4chan identified, which I don't know his name, and nor do I care to.
Okay, well, probably best not to say it either way.
I bet you he's got a GoFundMe though.
Yeah, how about that?
Yeah.
So speaking of King Kyle of Kenosha and his not having a GoFundMe, we have Donald Trump, who said that he probably would have been murdered if he didn't defend himself. We have Sean King saying that he talked to friends and schoolmates of Kyle's. Kyle, by the way, a lifeguard who was seen literally cleaning up the neighborhood in which he worked.
In Kenosha.
In Kenosha, yeah. The 20-minute drive from the state line he crossed with his mom, apparently. Was the classmates and his friends claim that he thought he would have been a school shooter. Now, for Sean and I, school shooters weren't a thing. It happened right at my junior year. So Sean was already out of school by the time that hit. But before that, we only had the bell tower shooter, really. And in Michigan, actually, the largest amount of deaths inside a school happened in the state of Michigan in the 30s. And it wasn't a school shooting, but a disgruntled farmer, blew up a schoolhouse. It was a bombing. He blew up a schoolhouse manure bomb in Michigan. But so there had been deaths at schools before, but it took Eric and Dylan before it became a real thing that was popularized by the media. Before that, we just had a college campus friggin' water tower sniper.
Well, don't forget Kent State.
Yeah, okay, that one too. But that was nearly all of them.
Yeah.
But I don't really think Kent State counts, but all right.
Well, it was the National Guard, so it wasn't exactly a school shooting. It just happened to be on a college campus. Kind of like the bell tower thing. It just happened to be on a college campus. That could have happened anywhere. I don't think it was exclusive to the school.
Mm-hmm. But I'm talking like an actual student in attendance firing the gun.
Right.
So we don't really have it, but if you talk to anybody from a younger generation, they will point out this person looks like a school shooter, this person acts like a school shooter. What you won't find out is a kid with a happy home life who volunteered as a lifeguard or worked as a lifeguard and volunteered to clean up the community as a school shooter. You find trenchcoat mafia douchebags wearing canvas trench coats with long hair who are alienated from everybody and usually have an abusive life and family. Not Kyle. But, again, it's a post from Sean King, so who knows the factual accuracy of that statement.
Oh, I know. It's exactly fucking none.
What? Sean King might have... I had that defense when somebody says, yeah, he's Alex Jones level of sources, and I said, hey, you watch your fucking mouth. Alex Jones has been right about a scary number of things.
Sean King doesn't even know what race he is.
Yeah. Like, I talked to your classmates, and it turns out you're white. There's a little black in you. You didn't make the basketball team. And then the three white guys just named Jerome.
Yeah, the only way he could be whiter is if he was on the swim team.
Yeah. Like, it was your water polo team that made the championship. What? It's so fucking ridiculous. Racial grifters, right? Yep. Race baiter to the extreme. Anyway, so Kyle still locked up, I assume.
Yep. As far as I'm aware.
We now find out that Joe Rosenbaum, because that's his name, was grazed by a round to the forehead, but his killing shot was to the back, which might mean that he's not even responsible for that shooting.
Yeah.
While he fired off rounds, he might actually have only caused a glancing blow to the head, and somebody who was probably trying to shoot Kyle is responsible for the death of Joe Rosenbaum. Which makes that a gun charge for sure, firing a gun, whatever you want to call it, but in no way even a murder. And we have clear video of the other shootings in which he did kill rapist McGee and disarmed burglar what's his fuck. And the burglar then later admitted that he wanted to kill the shit out of the kid.
Yeah, that guy's name is Gage.
Gauges are all evil. I've
Can
learned
we,
that since Pet Cemetery.
can we just be honest here that we're all really looking forward to the Joe Rogan podcast that has Kyle Rittenhouse on it?
I don't think he'll have him on.
Be cool if he did.
It'd be cooler.
I mean, he's had people of less importance on.
Well, yeah. But I mean, he hasn't had Nick Sandman on yet.
He won't be on. He's still in the middle of he can't talk about shit right now because he's still handling shit right now.
Yeah.
No, he gave a speech.
Not about that though.
Yeah,
Yep.
it was. It was directly about that.
It was about being attacked by that, not what actually happened.
Right. No, and he, even post fact, he won't be able to talk about it. I mean, I'm sure there's a gag order as part of the conditions for the settlements.
True. That's true. So while we might be seeing him around more, by the way, did you guys see the? I don't even know if this is true or not, but I just pray that it is. David Hogg asked his followers if they wanted him to do daily videos running up to the election day, and he got a 80% no, 20% yes. So I don't know if it was a stolen vote, but it was absolutely hilarious.
I want that kid to go away.
Yeah, we won't adjust his ratio until like it's actually proven in court. But how crazy is that? That even justifying everything the left says, this was a school shooter who was out to murder bastards. Goes to a peaceful police protest and happens to pick out from a crowd just on his murder spree a pedophile, a rapist who is also been charged with numerous stranglings and child kidnappings, and a burglar who happens to like to illegally arm himself with guns, which is why he is now a felon and was at the scene with a additional illegal firearm. All three victims, in this case, because we're being very liberal with the truth here, felons at a peaceful protest against police violence.
We left out why they started chasing Mr. Kyle.
What do you mean? Okay, go on.
The reason the crowd was chasing Kyle to begin with, the reason they were angry with Kyle himself, was because they lit an actual dumpster fire and were
put it out.
pushing it towards a gas station when he put it out.
Can we just agree right here, right now, that leftists are fucking morons?
I mean, you won't get any argument from me, but
I thought that was understood.
I mean,
No,
Yeah.
did you hear that story though?
No,
The kid that was involved in the shooting,
Mhm.
the whole reason that riot started was because they were pushing a dumpster that was on fire.
they were trying to push it into police cars.
No, they tried to push it to the gas station.
Smart.
I thought they were trying to push it into police cars.
They're fucking smart. Let me tell you.
Yeah. I remember seeing like he wasn't the actual fire extinguisher renegade, but I saw the lead up to that. But as they let them take the dumpster, which is just I don't have the dumpster. I'm not fighting for the dumpster. I'm fighting for the business here. But then he got separated from them, and one of the idiots yelled to break off, which was a mistake. They should have called him back and formed a fucking firing group. But he took off after it. Just absolutely, they tried to disarm him. That's stupid in its own. Are you going to tell me that Joe Rosenbaum? Well, I guess he could spot a miner from 1,000 yards. So maybe
He died doing what he loved, chasing miners.
Pursuing youth. But then, from what we see from the breakdown of the video, he's not the first person to start shooting. Like he was responding to gunfire when his shots went out. So not only that, but when he stopped firing, additional rounds came in. Go ahead.
If your story about Rosenbaum dying because of a wound to the back is true, that means that the guy who fired the first shot, which there's a video still I saw showing that guy popping off that round, the first shot you hear into the air.
Yeah.
But if then Kyle whips around and throws a round into the Rosenbaum's head, but the guy that fired the first round into the air then levels off and starts firing at Kyle, but hits Rosenbaum, that might be the case. But I'm gonna need to see that evidence.
It's a really complicated and fucked up situation, all because of Blake, who is a rapist in his own right, who is mad at cops. Did you hear why Blake was mad at the cops? Why he doesn't go drinking with the cops?
Something about Brussels sprouts?
No, it's because he can't walk after 7 shots.
Oh, jeez.
Oh.
That dude's lucky to be alive, honestly.
Is he lucky though? I mean, the family's lucky because they just made $20 million. But or whatever it's up to right now. The left has nothing better to do with their money.
Let me rephrase that. Is he lucky? Absolutely not. Are we lucky? Yes. Because now this motherfucker has to go testify in court.
Mm-hmm. So, we've got from Beauty and the Beta, they said that he pinned down his baby mama and finger banged her to check whether or not she'd been fooling around on him. So we got that classy act going on here. So
with kids in the car.
Absolutely disturbing. Then tries to take the car, stealing her keys, and something that Neo got wrong that pissed me off so much. He was armed with a knife when he was tasered. The knife was out when he went in front of the car. The reason the knife was found on the floor inside the car is because he dropped it when they shot him a bunch. That wasn't him going for a knife in the car because there was a knife in the floorboard, because nobody drives around with a knife in the fucking floorboard. It was him dropping the knife after being, I believe the term is ventilated.
I did see a still of him coming around the front of the car, and it does look like he's grasping a knife in his hand.
Yeah, he had a combat.
Yeah. I don't know if that's doctored or not. It's one of those things you got to take it with a grain of salt. You can't believe everything that you just outright see, especially on Twitter. But if that's in the raw video, then that will be in court as well. And these cops are going to walk.
Yeah.
And rightfully so.
For the record, the Molotov used because everyone talking about the Molotov. There's video of Jacob or Joe throwing a Molotov. The Molotov was used to set the dumpster on fire. What he threw at Kyle was, for some reason, a brick in a plastic bag. So when you see the thing being thrown and it catches the light and looks like it flames, it's a brick in a bag. That's not flame. That's dollar store grocery bag catching the light,
Flapping in the wind.
Yeah. So absolutely, it looks like a Molotov. It's not. I don't know why it's a fucking brick in a bag. It's not like it's a lock in a sock. I mean, a lock in a sock makes sense, but a brick in a plastic bag, maybe a pillowcase.
You could swing a brick in a bag and do something
once. You go skydiving without a parachute once.
I can only do this trick once.
My mom shot me once. Once. You catch a bullet once. Yeah. So we got that just load of nonsense.
Trump's going to Kenosha tomorrow.
Oh yeah. Maybe I'll see Kyle and give him the good old nod.
Apparently, he's already defending him. So
the press was all up in arms about Trump going to Kenosha because apparently the state, I don't know if it's district attorney or whatever, governor or whatever, has asked him not to because he thinks it might inflame tensions. And I say, probably will. And you know
allow
what?
me to bring 3,000 National Guard members with me on my trip.
Yeah.
Go ahead and leave these fellas here.
Because
Wheeler's still denouncing them.
Yeah. If nothing else, the couple hundred Secret Service agents that are going to have to be in Kenosha that are, already in Kenosha are going to help quell everything.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then, isn't Ted Wheeler still not accepting any assistance from Trump at all?
Not only not accepting assistance, demanding that Trump actually... It's weird. He's not taking the assistance that Trump has offered, but then is simultaneously blaming Trump for not doing anything.
I have a steak and eat it, too. What a fucking moron.
Basically, he's blaming Trump for the existence of Trump supporters. Then the existence of Trump supporters is what set off the fucking animals that run his city into shooting one of them. He's literally victim blaming.
Did you say steak?
what?
Garrick? Did you say steak?
Steak? What?
Did you say steak or cake?
Cake.
Cake.
Okay, just making sure you said cake. I thought I heard steak. And I was like, no, there's a story behind that. You don't get to pick your meal.
I mean, I prefer steak over cake, but I do understand the reference.
No. There's a whole story behind that. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Like, have your steak and eat it. Yeah, that's Marie Antoinette. Let them eat steak. Jesus Christ. What's Beetlejuice up to over in Chicago? She's still denying the feds, or
she's still denying? Well, she's denying the guard. She has accepted the help of the FBI and Homeland Security, but has taken the local PD and put them on her block to stop people from doing anything on her block in front of her house.
I was gonna say, now, does she live? Who lives in the high rise? What the?
I think she lives in a row house.
All right, so who lives in the high rise that they were dropping flowered pots on Antifa? They surrounded somebody, and the neighbors were literally dropping shit on them. No, I think it was somebody, like, they got into the lobby, and I think it was...
Oh, that was Wheeler.
So Wheeler lives in the high rise?
Well, I know that they got into the lobby of wherever Wheeler lives.
Okay, that is mayor's lobby. Portland Mayor Ted Wheeler's apartment. Yeah, so that was Portland.
Why does the mayor live in an apartment?
Well, it's the mayor. I mean, it's not like the governor. I mean, the governor of most states have mansions. Like in Michigan, it's the Manoogian mansion. But a mayor? I mean, do they have to move to be a mayor?
Well, you think that they'd have to live in the city they're the mayor of.
Well, he lives in an apartment in the city.
Can't buy a house?
Do you have to buy the house? Well, it's a condominium.
Okay, well, that's slightly different than an apartment.
Well, it says Antifa occupied Portland Mayor Ted Wheeler's apartment. But I just read that it was a condominium. So let's see. A group of Portland, Oregon protesters staged a sit-in inside the lobby of Mayor Ted Wheeler's condominium building Friday evening. While others held a loud concert outside, the protesters said they wouldn't leave until Wheeler met with them over demands that he resign, reduce the police bureau budget, and never vote to increase police spending. How does that work? You want antithetical things here. You want him to resign, reduce the budget, and never increase police spending. That's for the next person. You're a stupid person, whoever wrote this. Or demanded it anyway. Protests appeared to be peaceful at 10 p.m. local time, although red paint handprints were seen on the glass outside the lobby, according to independent journalist Garrison Davis. Some of the protests had left by 10 p.m. and unspecified safety reasons. Late Friday, Wheeler's office released a statement saying, "We have monitored the situation and hope protesters remain peaceful for the safety of other residents."
That sucks.
Black Indigenous people of color.
Black Indigenous people of color?
Black and BIPOC.
That would be
Black.
Aborigines in Australia and anybody in Africa.
Ted Tear Gas Wheeler. That's a nice one. No, thanks, Senior Chief. You know me and my acronym OCD, Black Indigenous People of Color, BIPOC. Ted best get those demands before he runs out of hope. Thanks, Senior Chief. What a weird... Valor Guardians, that's where I'm at. This ain't hell. Okay, weird. Found myself on a weird site. I also spelled Antifa with instead of an I, a U. Antifa. Still got there in the end. All right. What else we got?
That's about it, to be honest. I can't think of anything else.
Well, actually, I do have one. Drew Brees pissed me off this week because he put Jacob Blake's name on his helmet. So I'm fucking done. Just fuck it all.
If anybody asks, I am also done with WNBA for the same reason. Yeah, I used to enjoy the WNBA. Well, we have Good Lord. We have Nancy Pelosi calling everybody enemies of the enemies of the Constitution or whatever.
Enemies of the state.
Enemies of the state.
Every Republican, including those she works with in the House of Representatives, are enemies of the state. And somehow that's not
Acceptable political rhetoric?
Yeah, well, not only acceptable political rhetoric, those are literally fighting words.
Mm-hmm.
Bring back congressional canings.
NFL helmets.
I would be just happy with congressional term limits, but yeah, that works too.
Canings. They already have their own canes. NFL helmets will feature names of victims of police violence and systemic racism this season. You guys are going the wrong direction. Good Lord. NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell has softened his stance towards social justice issues in recent months. You guys are literally pulling water from the ocean and putting it in your boat. It's the opposite of how you unsink a ship. That is amazeballs.
Is it really? Or is it just par for the course?
I wonder if they would let BLM, a crafty BLM activist in the NFL, put David Dorn's name on his helmet.
Ooh. No, what they really need to do is put Free Hong Kong on the back of their jersey.
China is asshole. Jacob Blake's father rejected idea of speaking to Trump. I've already talked to President Biden. Christian crowdfunding page to benefit teen Kyle Rittenhouse explodes with donations.
Awesome.
Video, man bashed in back of head with bricks, falls face first to sidewalk.
Yeah, I saw that video earlier.
One got bashed with a brick. One 71-year-old man who was trying to put out a fire in a mattress store got clubbed over the head.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Didn't he get kicked the shit out of too, or was it just he got clubbed and broke his jaw?
I think he just got clubbed and broke his jaw.
That was a different guy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's multiple instances of the mobs hurting people that are trying to do the right thing and putting out fires and stopping property damage. And those get exactly no airplay. Hell, CNN didn't even really show the shooting in Portland.
Cop's lawyer make bombshell claims in George Floyd case. Body cam shows Floyd ingesting fatal amount of drugs before arrest. He died of overdose. That's the lawyer for the cops saying that body cam shows him ingesting the drugs. Attorney for one of the other officers involved in Floyd's death also say body cam footage shows the moment Floyd reportedly ingested a lethal amount of drugs. See, what happened was two cops show up, talk to the owner of the store, the manager of the store, whatever, the guy who called the cops from inside the store. Two other cops show up at the scene and are outside waiting. So apparently they're facing George Floyd and, his vehicle anyway. And most likely what happened is the cop that George thought was looking at him turns into a different direction. He swallows the drugs to get the drugs from on his person. And then, not thinking about the body cam, which doesn't shift point of view when the head turns, sees him eat the drugs. If that is the case, enjoy your speedball before you fucking die.
Yeah, no, I don't. I don't think he did, but yeah, you know.
It just I'm still baffled at understanding how anybody can have the opinion contrary to our own. Like just looking at facts and coming to the conclusion that even if you hate Trump, even if you are a commie, that any of this makes any sorts of sense in any other way than how we see it.
Well, there's two distinct possibilities that I come from or come out with is that they're in a bubble.
Do you mean come up with?
Just listen.
I'm trying to figure out your words.
Did
Did you say steak? Did you say steak? Go on.
Fuck off already.
Huh.
It comes down to they're not getting the full facts, or they live in a bubble where facts just don't matter. They believe what they want to believe because it makes them feel good.
I agree.
Oh
with that.
yeah. I mean, like you should have seen like the love on Facebook that the smug bitch had when pronouncing that your beloved Kyle. What is? I think she said like Ruggenhoos or something like that. Just something awful fucking last name. The other one with the drunk driving when Kyle was 12. When she read off his police report, as if that suddenly solved like all the problems.
Mm-hmm.
At a rally in Kenosha on Saturday, an activist declared black people should retaliate against the white people when they kill members of the black community. No one black died in Kenosha, just 3 Jews, people who were chosen by our Lord and Savior.
Well, the reason that I say the facts don't matter and it whatever happens as long as it makes them feel good. They had who was the chick that cheered the Patriot Prayer guy getting killed?
Some Antifa fuckbag Marxist with a bullhorn.
Well, that's what I'm getting at. Those particular people don't care about the facts. Now, the people who are getting affected by this, I don't know why they're not voicing their opinions. Probably they're scared. There's going to have to be a breaking point where people are going to have to fight back. You can't kneel down and just get punched in the face forever.
Well, that's what they're saying, though. They're saying they've been kneeled on and punched in the face forever, and now it's time for them to fight back. To them, they're oppressed. Apparently, an Obama phone does not free you from oppression.
Nothing ever will, though. I mean, that's the point that a lot of people aren't understanding. Is everybody wants this racial equality that we had already achieved 20 years ago. We were as close as you could possibly get. But some people were still racist because some people will always still be racists. There has been no systemic racism in this country for a very long time. And if you want to talk about cops killing black people, cops kill white people, cops kill Hispanics, cops kill Asians, cops kill Native Americans. There's a problem with cops being overly militaristic.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? That's something we could all solve together. But because they're demanding that it's a racial issue, somewhere, probably in hell while he's getting a pineapple shoved up his ass, Charlie Manson is smiling at what the fuck is going on in America today.
Is Helter Skelter.
Yeah. Like, for all of you people who are in love with Charlie Manson in your against racial hatred groups and you supporting Black Lives Matter while also loving Charlie Manson, because that's a part of my horror community supports Black Lives Matter. Like Charlie Manson, not a mass murderer, by the way, didn't kill anybody ever.
Nope, talk people into doing it.
Yeah. Wanted to start a race war and blamed blacks for Sharon Tate's murder. Like, you fucking idiot. I can't believe the horror community supports Black Lives Matter was a thing. Like, no, you're the horror community. No lives matter to you.
Everybody does.
Yeah. That's less racist.
There will always be race hucksters, race baiters, and actual racists in the society. It is the society's job to be able to correctly identify who they are for what they are and shut them the fuck down.
Absolutely. And what's the dad from the 16-year-old that was killed in Chaz, China, whatever the fuck it's called, wants $1 billion for the life of his 16-year-old son. I'm like, I'm sorry, I need a couple of questions answered. Did he graduate school at the end of last? Like, did he finish the grade that he was in last year? Was he the member of any gang? Was there any welfare being distributed to him or his family? Was he, at the time, 16 years old, a contributing member to society? Like, I need those things answered before you get any sort of money. Because it's going to turn out that that kid was a drain of resources in his community.
Who is he asking? Who is he asking to give him the money?
The state. Like, he's suing.
Stop. Why would it be the state's responsibility if that was an autonomous zone?
You can say it's an autonomous zone. It doesn't make it an autonomous zone. You can
No,
say
I
Black
understand
lives matter.
that,
Black lives
but-
don't matter.
Now, I kind of sympathize with him in the fact that the state didn't do its job. But technically, the state took the mindset that it wasn't their job because it was an occupied protest or autonomous zone experiment that they were allowing to run. So it's really on the people that were part and parcel of that movement to pay that money, not the general taxpayers of the state of Washington.
I'm sorry. I'm pretty sure that was the Summer of Love.
Summer of hate.
Love trumps hate. Like I do. I love Trump's hate. Sorry for your losses.
I don't know.
I'm really digging this. They're starting to post this thing about Jesus on a cross, and Blue Lives Matter supporters saying he should have followed the law. Like,
So the obvious question I think is, will this get better or worse after the election?
worse. There's no
unity or
After the election, Trump will have to become the authoritarian that they've always said he was in order to quell this. And it will absolutely be necessary. Right now, it's bait. Right now, they need him to do it before the election so that they can skew the election. That's why they're pushing so hard. They want him to do it on his own authority to usurp the states and the mayor's authority to do what's right. The mayors are failing intentionally to goad him into doing it. He needs to not do it until after the election.
But right then, like November fucking 5th, entire country of National Guard called up and sent to this bullshit. It's clear from what we're seeing. These are mostly Democrat states and all Democrat cities, with the exception, like we're talking. They have a D next to their name, not an R, but really progressives and Marxists and all those other bullshit terms.
Does Kenosha qualify?
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
and that's Michigan and Wisconsin both went blue after 2016.
Okay. I think something's going on in Atlanta as well, but I know Georgia has a Republican governor, but Atlanta is very, very deep blue.
Mm-hmm. But you don't get to tell the governor he can't come into the city, which is why that shit will be quelled, which is why it's repeatedly been quelled. Like, they have more reason to riot than most places. But it keeps getting quelled. Like the 7-year-old that died from that douchebag with the Magpul furniture, that got quelled. The Wendy's fire got quelled. The riots afterwards got quelled.
Yeah.
I don't want these people dead per se. I want them out. I wouldn't mind seeing them all fired. The only one I want to see dead is Ruth Bader Ginsburg. But I just want to see her because I know she's already been dead for 2 years.
I don't think we'll get an appointee unless she passes on in the first term.
Second term?
I don't remember. Republicans blocked for
Second term, yeah.
the second
It's
term.
the Biden rule, yeah.
Is it the Biden rule or the Gore rule?
Check it out. It's the Biden rule.
Excellent. Yeah. So yeah, if they could declare her dead now, it wouldn't matter. It won't matter until after the election.
Yeah.
And they're not in any hurry because they know that unless they can swing the Senate, it won't matter anyway.
What's the Gore rule?
I don't know. I don't remember what the Gore rule is, but
I'm looking it up. I'm not seeing a Gore rule.
Okay, so it's the Biden rule. I think maybe the Gore rule had some more to do with the Supreme Court making the decision in the 2000 election.
Yeah, it was. That's all I saw was Bush v. Gore.
Yeah.
Supposed Biden rule debate. Republicans later began to refer to this originally little noticed idea of the Biden rule. Biden responded that his position was and remained that the president and the Congress should work together to overcome partisan differences regarding judicial nominations. Yeah, fuck all these people.
Yeah.
No, I can't stand these people and their bullshit. But yeah, I want these people gone. But they want you. If you look at what we've seen recently, anyone who disagree with them, they want them fired. Unable to make money, unable to receive money, unable to spend money. They want them divorced from their partner, their kids taken from them. Peter Fonda wanted Barron put in a cage with pedophiles and raped. And they want you dead, homeless, divorced, wife raped, children molested. And it's the saying goes, the left or the right thinks the left's wrong, and the left thinks the right's evil. I think the left's evil.
Agreed.
Well, I can tell you this, and I'll say it till I'm blue in the face. The left always accuses their opposition of being exactly what they are. Mm-hmm. And the left thinks we're evil. The left thinks their opposition is evil.
Because they're evil.
Because they're evil. We think they have bad ideas. Let me refrain. We know they have bad ideas, but are still not evil people, for the most part. Some of them outright are. They think anybody who doesn't agree with them is evil at the core, not that they just have different ideas.
Yeah. Well, like, as a Republican, I think the Republicans have bad ideas. But the Democrats have worse ideas. None of them are good. You know, like it by no means is it fun to not spend your money all on the weekend and barely have enough money to make it to next weekend. That would be fun. It just wouldn't be helpful. You have to save for a rainy day. You have to set aside for emergencies. Like there's things you have to do that make shit less fun. So there are responsibilities that have to be, uh, you have responsibilities. So you can't have all the fun all the time. Wheeler wasn't mugged and beaten. He was cornered and tear gassed. What?
That's true, because he went out to talk to the BLM riots when they were attacking the courthouse, and they turned on him and gave him a rash of shit, and then because they started their attacks when he was still present, the tear gas got launched from the feds, and Wheeler got himself gassed before he could get in, and then a half hour after getting himself safe, he declared their activity riots for the first time.
What was this mugged and beaten stuff, though?
There was a gay Democrat assembly person that went out to one of the riots, and I think he got actually beat.
Oh yeah, I remember that one. With he was video recording it. He got attacked.
Yep.
I don't know what state it was in, but whatever it is, he was the 6th district guy. I don't know what 6th district, but. I can do that too, but my shotgun's already loaded next to me, so.
Well, that was just a 22, so.
It'd be superfluous to rack a loaded shotgun.
I was just checking because,
shells.
22 gets very gunky very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Especially with a binary trigger.
Word.
Mm-hmm. My God, I've never seen so much lead until I pulled apart my suppressor.
Hmm. We'll just save a little back, just hold them a little back.
Yep. So.
Tim Pool's calling Kyle the Kenosha Kid.
Yep. Saw that.
So
Oakland protest through Oakland, California. The protesters, quote unquote, were chanting "Death to America."
You live in America. Freaking idiots. Kyle's got 270,000 in donations to this Christian charity site.
What have you guys heard about his altercation with some students that he goes to school with? I guess allegedly.
Yeah, where he supposedly was in a fight.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know much about it. It's kind of hard. The video's very grainy. It's very hard to tell if it is him or if it's just a kid that looks like him. I saw the video.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what else we got. MSNBC host slams RNC as minstrel show for having black people speak. Don't be fooled. 6 Minnesota Democrat mayors endorse Trump. We didn't choose to leave the Democratic Party. They left us.
I think every cop union is supporting Trump. Surprise, surprise. And I believe that even the steelworkers unions are supporting Trump this time around.
That's nice that they're listening to their base instead of just playing bullshit. Michael Moore admits President Trump is on course to sweep November. When did fucking Michael Moore become any sort of guru to voting guru? New Jersey teen hit with bill for police overtime after organizing Black Lives Matter. I got to read this one. Black Lives Matter protest. It would be unfair to require our residents to financially support a private event. New Jersey teenager Emily Gill was hit with a bill for police overtime last month after she organized a Black Lives rally outside the first meeting with local officials. What's the background? Gill, who had recently graduated high school, said she organized the rally in her small town of Inglewood Cliffs after she had learned the city had allegedly dodged affordable housing requirements for 40 plus years. I find that unacceptable, Gill told the news outlet. The rally took place on July 31st, and only 30 to 40 people turned out, according to Gill. How did the bill come? 4 days after the rally, Bill received a letter in the mail from Inglewood Cliffs Mayor Mario Kraniak, Kranjac, and a bill for nearly $2,500. According to the letter, Gill refused to meet with officials before the rally, which left them scrambling to provide the rally with adequate security sources. Please promptly forward your payment to the borough in the amount of $2,499.26 for the police overtime caused by your protest. Kaniak wrote, your lack of notification left the borough with little time to prepare for your protest, so the police department and Department of Public Works could ensure that everyone would be safe. Gill, however, claimed she tried to meet with officials via Zoom because she had concerns about COVID-19. She said officials did not accept her offer. Konjak told the New Jersey Advocate Advance, blah, blah, taxpayers should not be forced to burden the costs associated with private events. As with any privately sponsored event that takes place in the borough, requiring police safety, an invoice was sent to the organizer for police overtime since it was unfair to require our residents to financially support a private event. That's hilarious. I'd like to start seeing that. Fucking tracing down the people who called for swattings and giving them the bill at a minimum. U.S. Marshals rescue 25 missing children from Ohio. Many are victims of human trafficking or prostitution.
Are we over 200 now?
Mm.
Georgia, Michigan, and now Ohio?
This is from August 29th, 2020. U.S. Marshals located 25 missing and endangered children from Ohio in the past 20 days. Of an ongoing operation, U.S. Marshals worked with state and local agencies in Ohio. These fucking U.S. Marshals, man, they're tearing it up. The missing children, who were between the ages of 13 and 18, were found in Cleveland, East Cleveland, Euclid, Willoughby. As far as Miami, Florida, U.S. Marshals noticed that a quarter of the endangered children were victims of human trafficking and prostitution. These kids have been abused, neglected, some involved in human trafficking. Sometimes the situation they go to, believe it or not, may be better than the situation they left from. We've had some cases where the mother and or father or both may have been prostituting their own child.
It's disgusting.
What the hell? Yeah, that is disgusting. I don't need to read any more of this, but damn, Operation Safety Net will continue for a few more weeks. The goal is to find about 200 missing children from Northeast Ohio. Operation Not Forgotten, 39 children, 15 victims of sex trafficking, ages 3 to 17 in Georgia. Jesus. In a separate operation called Operation Moving Target, 27 men were arrested in Cuyahoga County, Ohio. The men reportedly engaged in sexually explicit online conversations with minor while posing as children during the 4-day undercover operation. Pieces of shit. Suspects ages 41, 40, 39, 38, 37, 34, 22, 29, 32, 21. I'm assuming that Kim is a dude. Keith, Pedro, Ryan, Jonathan, Ahmed, Abed. Fucking Keith. Fuck them. Let them all rot in jail until they get raped and murdered to death. A couple of poor unfortunate souls gonna fall on some broom handles. What ridiculousness! Like the shit that's going on right now, man.
Yep, it's all pretty ridiculous.
Schiff is beating the Russia drum again.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Nope.
God damn it.
Guess he got new Soros marching orders.
Mm-hmm.
Flu shots are starting to be pimped again.
No coronavirus shots yet?
There's actually a test that's going on in several places, one of them being locally here. No way in hell am I getting that shot.
It's not the Bill Gates one, is it?
Is that the one with the Tom Hanks genetic material in it?
I'm suspecting.
Mm-hmm. I learned today that if you rape a 15-year-old, violate a restraining order, resist arrest, reach for a weapon, and get shot, professional sports will shut down in your honor.
Yeah, I am done with, and it bugs me, but I gave up on the NFL half a dozen years ago. Fuck them. I gave up on the NBA long before that, but now triple fuck them. And I have to give up on baseball, and apparently I have to give up on hockey too. But
what's hockey doing?
They all did a thing for BLM for the playoffs.
Hockey did a thing for BLM?
Yeah, you know, for the 3 black guys in the league, apparently.
There's the picture of Maury reading off the results. It says BLM says they don't need to police. The fact that they were getting clapped by 17-year-olds determined that was a lie. How guys vote Biden, eat corn, taking it like a fucking dick.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and hop off here, fellas. You have a wonderful night.
You too.
And I'll talk to you guys later.
Hope you get your bumper tomorrow.
Yeah, because it sure as shit didn't show up tonight. So, all right. Later.
There.
Well, bye.
Hey, save that for those announcement Felicias. Okay, we've got August 9th, Cannon Hinat killed. He was 5. We got Joe Shockley, who was killed August 12th. He was 24. We've got Nicole Merrill, was 30. She was killed August 14th. Veronica Baker, 17, killed August 15th. And Nathan Garza, 18, killed August 16th. All in cold blood. All white people. Well, Garza seems a little questionable. The statement is that it was a graze to the head. It was a superficial wound. It was not the death blow. He died from a gunshot wound to the back.
Who says that?
Let's see who said that. Oh, look at the fuck up. That needs to be done anyway. Joseph? Rosen. Ah, I fucking missed it. I wanted to put COD and I spelled it V. VID. Three days. Not finding anything relevant. Okay. Who was he and how did he die? Shot in the head Tuesday night during. He did. Raising money to help support my friend Jojo. Beat a bow with his girlfriend and I are trying to raise money. You know. I'm not finding anything more recent than 3 days ago. Weird. So I heard it on a Timcast though, so maybe he's full of shit.
I like that Tim Pool is motivated now and starting to see the light, but he's a little bit doom and gloom for me.
He is dark. I'm taking the darkness though. All right, so we're gonna have to hold off on that until I can find some proof. Tim Pool might be lying to me. He might be gaslighting me. Just me.
He does, and I don't say this to slight him, but he is very opinionated, and his opinions are
Shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I was going to be polite about it, but yeah.
No, but he's what we need. We need him to motivate the youth that are blind to this, sometimes willfully blind to this, that don't identify as being on the right or don't identify as, being aware of what's actually going on. We need him doing what he's doing. So I appreciate what he's doing, but fuck, is it dark?
Well,
We were all where he was 4 years ago.
yeah.
Speak for yourselves, buddy.
Yeah, well, I think a lot of the reasons why his opinions are kind of have their faults is because they're based on a lot of his experiences. I don't know how much he actually has studied or read or knows about history or that kind of stuff. He kind of does it on the fly.
By September of 2016, I was shoveling coal on the Trump train.
I wasn't.
Calling
I
you a senator.
wasn't nearly a pro-Trump guy. I was definitely an anti-Hillary guy.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. If there's-
And I would have been fine with Rand Paul or Ted Cruz, or
No,
Trump.
not by now. By now, I was very opposed to Ted Cruz. I was opposed to Ted Cruz by the debates. Up until like sometime after he got his lung taken out in 2017. That's when he stopped doing stupid shit. But now he's back on the stupid shit.
Cruz's?
No, Rand Paul.
Well, he's not his dad. That's his biggest sin.
Really good.
But that's fine. I mean, I'd still vote for him.
He called Trump a racist.
So what? Trump called both of them much more horrific things.
Were they accurate though?
Dude, he called Ted Cruz's dad the Zodiac killer.
I mean,
Do you have proof he is that?
and the funny part is, him and Ted get along just fine. It's like Jesus.
Ted understands politics. He put out the meme about Ted Cruz with the Zodiac killer. Michael J. That believe in something, blah blah blah. Ted Cruz put out his own with his picture and the Zodiac killer labels underneath it. Ted's got a strong, it's like Orrin Hatch as the most fucking based person in in the legislative branch, and then Ted Cruz.
Yeah,
But
Rand Paul's he's a little bit too uniparty for me to like a whole lot, but he's a whole lot more likable than a lot of them in there. So
Ted's got the same issue I got with Obama. Where was he raised? Well, it's less of an issue because he does have an American parent, unlike Kamala Harris. But it's the same thing I have with Obama. Obama has an American parent and a foreign parent, and he was raised all over the goddamn globe. Where is the loyalties of Ted Cruz? How old was he when he came to America?
he was born here,
No, he was born in Canada.
was he? John McCain was born in Panama.
John McCain was born on base. So was Bruce Willis. That's different. Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz. Birthplace. It's like 10
Regina.
years. Calgary.
Calgary.
Foothills Medical Center, Calgary, Alberta, Canada.
So wait, I've been saying it wrong this whole time?
Calgary?
Oh God.
I don't give a fuck.
Well, how are you saying it?
Calgary?
It's Calgary.
To half of
Oh,
Calgary. It's Calgary.
That's okay. We have our own silly ass pronunciations for shit.
That's very true. You've never been to Louisiana. You have no idea how true that is.
Fuck that. I was looking at a name and I'm like, I got nothing. They're like Gaucher, and I'm like, those aren't even the right letters.
Well, there's a Worcester, Mass, which is spelled Worcester, but you say it Worcester.
One of my favorite memes is it's a cop at a turned over Worcestershire sauce truck, and they say, what seems to be the situation? And the cop goes, it's hard to say.
So wait, how do you say it?
Worcestershire.
Worcestershire.
Yeah, no.
But it's spelled Worcestershire.
I know, but that's too many syllables.
There's an area of Phoenix out here called Ahwatukee. Good luck spelling it.
Have you seen the video? It's on. It's mostly on Vines, but it's the New Zealand weather guy, and it's like 37 letters long, and like if there's not an A next to an A, there's a letter between the A's. But it's all it's 37 letters long, and he just says it out, but he drags his finger along as he says it. He's like, "Well, Papa, can need a song." Like, what?
Yeah, it's kind of like Natchitoches around here. Good luck spelling that one.
Yeah, Michigan's got a lot of that too. Like Sault Ste. Marie does not look like
Sault Ste. Marie, yeah. I actually worked with a guy who lived in Sault Ste. Marie.
Yeah. I mean, but we got others too. Like we got Mackinac, which is actually
goddamn Canadian accent I've ever heard was the guy in Sault Ste. Marie.
And there's a couple of Wisconsins that are pretty bad. That Ferris Bueller, he's one cool dude.
He's one righteous dude.
Yeah, I got nothing left. We did an hour and a half. We're good.
Oh, well, I got something that's completely that's just fluff, but I bought Bill and Ted's Face the Music on Friday.
Ooh. $20, really, bro?
25.
Ow!
Yeah.
What does it say on
Don't do it.
What does it say on Ted's stomach? In the tattoo?
In the jail scene, I'd have to go back and look at it again.
It ends with I think it's bodacious, but it ends in ush.
Hang on.
And just the angle from like the advertisements, I couldn't see it, and I'm like, I couldn't.
It says heinous.
Heinous. That's fucked up. Who did they ruin it with?
What do you
Who
mean?
did they put in to replace Rufus? What shit show did they put in place of Rufus?
Okay, so there's a very heavy pass it to the daughter vibe in the entire movie.
Like Bill and Ted's daughters?
Yes.
So Rufus's daughter?
Yes. But they did give George a nice little vignette there during the movie that, acknowledged him and how awesome he was. So it's not all bad.
Who was the daughter?
For who? For Rufus?
Yeah.
Hang on.
I know they're gonna social warrior shit show that one.
No, it's not real bad. I mean, it's there. It's definitely there, but it's not in your face. It's not heavy-handed. It's okay. They make it work. It's okay.
So it's not a feminist.
Hang on. Pull this up. Kristen Shaw is is Rufus's daughter.
The high pitched bitch.
Yep, but she does okay. I mean, it works. She's not all that annoying. She does a good job for what it is.
Her whole shtick is annoying, but yeah, okay.
It's as good as Bogus Journey, so I'll just leave it at that.
Oh,
So it's good. It's just, I shouldn't say it's enjoyable, but not good.
I'll give you a hint. What chosen group she belongs to?
Oh, gee, I'm shocked. It's an enjoyable popcorn munching movie. It's not a good movie.
That's good.
I mean, it's got to have some like sentimental value at least.
Yeah, the first one, I guess really what it boils down to is the first two movies were a product of the era. And that era is gone. It's just gone. And while it might be a little bit reminiscent for me and people my age, it definitely doesn't translate for the kids.
It's a bit dated, shall we say?
Yeah. But it was nice to watch a new movie. Like an actual new movie.
Did you watch No Safe Spaces? Did the link work?
You sent me the link?
Pretty sure.
Where?
No,
Pub?
I'll have to go back and look. I don't recall.
I can resend it. It's a Google Drive link.
Okay. Yeah, because I mean, if I like it, I'll pay for it, but I'm a little reticent to just hand over cash to Corolla and Prager.
I mean, I paid for it, so that's why you're gonna get it for free.
Speaking of Jews,
Corolla?
no,
Yeah.
Prager was born Jewish,
I mean,
and then apparently he went Catholic on it.
ethnically Jewish.
Who?
Yeah,
Corolla.
Is he?
Yeah.
I was pretty sure he was
he makes
raised
the
Catholic.
comments anyway. But Prager, born Jewish, turned Christian, like Clavin.
Yeah.
The top performing link posts by U.S. Facebook pages in the last 24 hours are number 1, Dan Bongino; number 2, Ben Shapiro; number 3, Fox News; number 4, Dan Bongino; number 5, Franklin Graham; number 6, Fox News; number 7, Spoken Reasons; number 8, Dan Bongino; number 9, Dan Bongino; number 10, Robert Reich.
Robert Reich has never been right about anything his entire life.
Yeah. Wow, that's like the Lincoln Project. Holy shit. They just disturbed as fuck. Speaking of not being right, Eric Swalwell, which, if you remember, not the gay white guy from the debates. Any Republican colleague wants to step forward and say we are not the mass shooter party? If you don't, real Donald Trump just made you the mass shooter party. Hashtag Trump riots.
Fuck that guy. I don't understand. I get being on a team, but to distort reality that much. That reach, he might as well stretch goddamn Armstrong with that kind of reach.
Matt said there is no honest person who could call what happened in Kenosha a mass shooting. That was a running gun battle and multiple self-defense scenario. Clackamas? Clackamas County, Oregon. Clackamas County, Oregon. The Clackamas County says won't help governor's plan to stop Portland protests. Yeah, it's not my fucking responsibility if you guys shit the bed. Trending in the U.S., you are not a group? Well, let's see what that's about real quick before we get out of here. I have a fly that is interested in my nostril. That needs to stop.
So after watching Bill and Ted's, I went and found Killer Clowns from Outer Space and watched that again.
I was going to say, if you haven't watched that, Garrick, watch it.
No, I don't wanna.
Dude.
It's so bad, it's delicious.
That's
Fuck
the problem.
you. It's so good, it's delicious. That is a good movie. It's a good...
No.
I can say that. Like, I don't have to tell the truth in this podcast. No, it's good. It's highly enjoyable.
It's very enjoyable.
Are spot on. Like, they are quality effects. It's not an expensive movie, but it is well done. It's just loopy as shit. Like, it's not the greatest writing, but aside from that, quality across the board. In the craziest way possible. So good. So good. 35 years later, they're making a second one.
Are they?
Yeah.
They're making another one?
Yeah.
I hope they don't ruin it with CGI. I hope they go back to the practical effects because those practical effects are amazing.
They couldn't afford CGI.
The original practical effects were mind-blowing.
Well, I read about it in November, so let's check. I mean, it's probably on hiatus right now, but searching Google. Oh, what the fuck? Yeah, but it's going to be 3D.
That would be awesome.
All right, guys, I'm turning in for the night. Y'all take it easy.
Okay. It grossed $15 million domestically.
What did it cost to make?
Oh, $29.
That seems about right.
I gotta find out. $2 million.
So it was a success.
8, yeah. That's 8 times the profit, plus 30 million internationally.
I wonder how much they had to pay John Vernon to do that movie.
Well, like there was in the 80s, because this is like late 80s. There was a lot of harassment to SAG-AFTRA about keeping people employed. So you ended up making damn, what's the name of that movie? There's this one movie with Ned Beatty, and it ends up being about a fucking monster truck killer. And Ned Beatty didn't do a movie that year, and he had to get something in, so he jumped at the chance to be this piece of what the fuck's the name of that movie? It was filmed in Canada because Canada exploitation always gets like one expensive guy. Like the Class of '99 had Stacy Keach. I can't think of what it was, but it was it's pretty freaking hilarious. Plus, a lot of these guys are artists themselves, so they donate a little bit.
Now I need to go back and watch Remo Williams' The Adventure Begins.
Stacy Keach ended up costing $5,000 to the costume department for that fucking bleach blonde wig and white contacts because he said his character needed it for Class of '99. And after the movie, because I watched the exploring the making of Class of '99, he was like, "Well, it didn't hurt the film, so what the fuck?" That's a unique movie. Have you seen the Class of '99?
No.
Oh, you should see the Class of '99. It's dated, but it's got like Pam Grier and Patrick Kilpatrick. But it's filmed in Seattle, and it's a makeoff of the Class of 1984, which is of course 1984 basically. In school and with misfits and stuff. It's gangs of the neighborhood is really rough, and to survive in the neighborhood, you have to be rough yourself. So the kids are parts of gangs, and the teachers can't handle the kids because they're all gang members. So they replace them with robots. Rose McGowan it was her first role. Yep, Rose McGowan was in Class of '99. So they take these cyborgs, androids, robots, whatever the fuck you call them in this case, and they're military grade experimental war machines made to look like humans, and assign them as teachers. So they're robots or whatever they're supposed to be, probably cyborgs, since you can't tell they're robots. And their wiring gets fucked up, and they become very aggressive and start in disciplinary situations. They kill the students, and the students fight back. So it's actually really interesting because they found a way to make the gang member character sympathetic. Yeah, Tracy Lynn, she agreed to do the film as long as she wasn't dead. Nothing gross happened to her.
But there's a starlet everybody forgot.
Suzanne?
Suzanne Snyder. She was in a bunch of stuff in the 80s.
Yeah. Favorite movie? Favorite movie?
With her?
Yeah. Is it gonna be Remo Williams?
No, it'd be Weird Science. I mean, she doesn't really have a huge role in that movie, but that's the best movie that she was in. She was also in Head of the Class. That was
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with Return of the Living Dead.
the second one, Return of the Living Dead Part 2.
Would you? Yeah, do.
Part D. She was in Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Night of the Creeps, maybe. She was in Night of the Creeps, right?
Yeah, she was in Night of the Creeps. She was in The Last Starfighter, too.
I don't remember her in The Last Starfighter.
Yeah, well, it really wasn't about her. She just played... It's kind of like Weird Science. She was just the hot chick.
Who do we yell at for thinking Last Starfighter was Starman? Is that Steven?
I don't remember who that was, but... Yeah. Easy conflation. They came out at about the same time.
Zoe Trilling. Oof.
Who's that?
What would you know her from?
Have to look right here.
She was like the main character in like Night of the Demons 2. Blonde hair, blue-eyed, curly.
Night of the Demons 2. That seems to be her only thing. Let's see.
No, she's in Dr.
Hellbound,
Giggles.
Dr. Giggles, Protect and Serve.
She looks good with dark hair too.
Let's see, what else was she in? Night Terrors, Jake and the Fat Man,
think she was in,
MacGyver,
like, Amityville 4.
Thanksgiving Day, They Came from Outer Space. She was in a couple episodes of Married with Children,
Probably one of Kelly's friends.
21 Jump Street. Girls Just Want to Have Fun. And one that is definitely a miscredit from 1952.
My first role, I was a zygote.
I don't even think she was old enough at that point.
No.
She's probably younger than me. Ah, she was born in 66, so she's older than me. Wow.
I was gonna say she's probably mid-50s by now.
Let's see. Call her 6.5, 7.
Apparently she's from New York, New York, but that chin is absolutely Tennessee. So
Yeah, you could chisel quartz with that thing.
all right, let's go ahead and get out of here. We'll move it to the after-hour show. We're just reading shit and running our mouths.
Pretty much. That's what we normally do. All right, let me play the outro and we'll get out of here.